You can order the rear brake caliper used in the video on CarParts.com via the link in the description. Turn off your vehicle's ignition. Set the parking brake. Pull the hood release handle and open the hood. Open the brake fluid reservoir. Loosen the wheel lug nuts on the rear wheels. In order to change the rear brake calipers on your vehicle, you will need to take off the wheels to have full access. Lift the rear of your vehicle. Place the vehicle on the jack stands. We strongly suggest watching our video on how to jack your Toyota Camry safely before carrying out this step. Don't forget to put the wheels under the vehicle. Insert a flathead screwdriver to the outer extremity of the oblong hole located on the front of the brake caliper. Lift it off using the screwdriver as a lever by pulling it towards you. This will cause the piston to retract slightly so that the caliper can be removed more easily for the next steps. Using a 14mm wrench, unscrew the banjo screw connecting the hose to the caliper. With a 14mm wrench, unscrew the slide pins. You can use a 14mm wrench to prevent the bolts from rotating. Then remove them. Tip: attach a piece of electrical cable or a hook to one of the strut spring coils. You can now remove the brake caliper and hook it on the previously installed hook. Remove the brake pads by prying them out with a flathead screwdriver. Using a flathead screwdriver, remove the anti-rattle clips. Using a socket wrench and a 17mm socket, unscrew the two holding screws on the caliper mount. Depending on the state of the nuts on the caliper mount, it may be necessary to use a hammer to loosen them. Remove the caliper mount. In our case, we took advantage of this operation to change the brake discs and pads. To do so, we recommend watching our video, How to Replace the Rear Brakes, Toyota Camry. Place a container to collect the fluid under the caliper, since the brake fluid may leak out. Put the new brake disc in place. Here's a tip. You can limit the amount of brake fluid leakage by clamping the brake hose with the brake hose clamp. You can now finish unscrewing the banjo screw. Next, separate the brake hose from the caliper. Retrieve the banjo screw and remove the double gasket from the hose. If you are not replacing the hose, carefully clean the surface where the hose and the caliper make contact, using brake cleaner and paper towels.
Hey, it's Alex from CarParts.com. If you enjoyed this video and want to support us, like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, back to work.
You can order the rear brake caliper used in the video on CarParts.com via the link in the description. Get the new seals and the banjo screw. Put a seal on the banjo screw and install the assembly on the hose. Then put the second seal on the banjo screw. Get the brake caliper. Screw the banjo screw that connects the brake hose to the caliper back on until it makes contact. Then put the caliper back in place on the hook. Take the new caliper mount. CarParts.com also recommends replacing the anti-rattle clips with new ones. Place the new anti-rattle clips on the caliper mount. Reassemble the caliper mount by screwing first by hand, then with a socket wrench and a 17mm socket to lock them in place. Finish tightening using a torque wrench. Grab the new pads and lightly coat the ends with copper grease to help them slide more easily. Insert the new pads into the caliper mount by sliding them in. Grab the caliper. Put the brake caliper back in place and screw in the slide pins by hand at first. Screw them in using both 14mm wrenches. Finish tightening using a torque wrench. Remove the brake hose clamp. Don't forget to remove the cable that you used to hold the caliper.
You can purchase the parts we used here by visiting our website at CarParts.com.
When replacing a brake caliper, you need to bleed the brake fluid system to remove air from the system. To do this, we suggest watching our video, How to Bleed the Brake Fluid System Toyota Camry. Clean both sides of the brake disc with brake cleaner and a cloth to remove the grease before installing the new pads. Then you will be able to put the wheels back on your vehicle. Put the car back on the ground and block the wheels properly. Don't forget to screw the brake fluid cap back on before starting the car. Attention! Before using your vehicle again, start your car and pump the brake pedal a few times to push the brake pads together again. Try to drive smoothly and avoid sudden braking for the first 30 miles or so to avoid glazing the new pads. Operation complete.